Welcome back, everybody, to Shenanigans. All right, Greg, take it away.
All right. The two of you wake up the next morning, and you are quickly realizing that the entire town is coming to Shenanigans to get their voting papers because when they were mailed to them, they were thrown away or ignored, or they just don't have them with them. So there's a lineup in the bar as Desmond and the wait staff is handing out voting papers to all of the citizens. And there's quite a bit of discussion. Seems to be quite exciting that there's this surprise third candidate, and it's got people. Their blood is hot, right? Everybody is real excited about it. What do the two of you do as you wake up in the morning?
So Artie's not been
breakfast.
Artie's not been paying too much attention to things. You know, he's been running around getting people, getting representatives, getting what do you call it? Endorsements and that sort of thing. I don't think Artie's even aware that today is voting day. So I think he's like leisurely taking his time, feeling like all warm and fuzzy inside from everything that he did yesterday, and kind of like, ooh, we did well. I think it's fine. And I'll, stroll down and meet up with Niarb for breakfast.
Okay.
All right. So I'm gonna change my spells a little bit for today.
Okay.
I'll send you a new list here, and I'll go down for breakfast also.
Sure. The two of you find a table that's sufficiently, not being disrupted by the long line of citizens coming in to get voting papers, and you get a hot meal from borscht. Ironically, or unironically, it is borscht.
The meal is borscht?
The meal is
Borscht.
Oh, got it, because that's also food, right. A little slow there.
As you're sitting there, spooning up borscht and having a nice hot soup, you start to be recognized in the crowds as they look on you, and they're like, "Oh, that's the Green Party right there," and people are commenting and making talking to you like, "Oh, Colonel Sanders gonna win." Like, some people are real excited about it. They're like, "Yeah, I'm voting green." But some people are like, "Oh, don't throw your vote away at these fools. It's only red or blue." And but for the most part, it stays reasonable and under control under the scowling gaze of Desmond.
I carefully spoon my food, looking up at Niarb. What's going on today, Niarb?
I think the election is today.
Desmond's voice has a certain barb to it.
Does it have a certain bar to it?
Barb, like a sharp, hooky.
Oh, because if it was a bar to it, I would think that the bar that was to it was Shenanigans.
Today's election day? You don't say. Well, do we
okay,
have enough coin for the campaign to be paid?
Well, you were getting all that silver. Did you get a lot?
No, I did not.
I just gotta tell you about something. There's something I gotta tell you.
Yes?
The hat that you're wearing?
Yes.
You're right. That hat looks much better on you than on me. I mean, these two hats that I paid for, you definitely should have had the more expensive hat.
No, I paid for yours and you paid for mine. That's just
true.
fine. That's what brothers do. Don't you know? I have two.
Yes, and you were right to take the more expensive hat that I paid for. Absolutely.
I think it fits my head a little better.
Mm-hmm. And there's no repercussions to that decision.
My intelligence? on one sec. Well, that's very nice of you to say, Niar. Would you like to go out into the yard? I think it's time to... if today's election day, it's time to win it for our party.
It's time to see if Green can go all the way, or I don't understand these terms. You're a priest. You could probably come up with much better words than you can.
Oh, I only have the second best words, but I'll make do with them.
Shall we see what happens with the election?
We shall.
Okay, so you guys are gonna get up and go towards the market area. As you leave Shenanigans, you realize quickly that the crowd is quite immense going towards the market area. There's just tons of people there. And as you are walking out of Shenanigans and are getting closer to the main marketplace, you're seeing in alleyways voters getting stopped that are not wearing the red or blue. And they're getting stopped by essentially armed men. You're seeing in alleyways armed men coming out with clubs and pushing away red or blue dressed voters the opposite of them. And they are basically intimidating them out of their papers and handing them new ones. And yeah, this has happened in 2 or 3 of the alleyways that you pass by. If you go past them and into the marketplace itself, you see long lines of people that are getting lined up, and there are 12 little booths. Each of them have 2 town guards next to them. You think the entire town guard is in the market area itself, including the sheriff. And these people are in lines and to go to one of these 12 booths. And as they enter it, they spend some amount of time there, and then they exit the booth without their papers, and they exit the marketplace to the north.
Okay, so like, how many people are there out not stealing people's papers and replacing them with false ones?
You passed probably 4 alleyways on your way to the market. So you see groups of 3, just like armed men. They have like cudgels essentially, and they're finding groups of people with the opposite color of them and like pushing them into the alleyway and admonishing them, and like if they need to, they smack them once or twice and then take their papers from them and give them new ones.
It's happening from both sides?
Yes.
Okay. I'll point this out to Artie and go, Artie, I think those people are disenfranchising the voters and taking their papers and making it so their votes won't count. That doesn't seem like hope or change.
Neutral good. Well, that's certainly an inspired approach to win an election. I don't know if it's right or wrong, but
I think it's pretty wrong. I don't think it's inspired so much as criminal behavior.
The two are not mutually exclusive, my friend.
You don't think we should get the sheriff to see this? The sheriff who's on our side?
Perhaps we should. That would be good publicity indeed. Why don't we go get the sheriff? We'll get him and his trusty steed. Once they see him righting wrongs, they surely must turn around and vote for the party of... Let's go.
All right, you scan the marketplace, which is now turned into like election square. And there's 2 town guards at every booth, and there's more out here making sure the line is orderly. It seems like all of them are in this one little square, which is probably why the alleyways are safe to be criminals. And kind of patrolling back behind them, you see the sheriff just kind of nodding, looking around, very pleased clearly that everything is so orderly.
Okay. So, obviously I've got the whole beard and the persona going on.
Okay. You spend some time to make yourself the Diet Coke brother.
Yeah. All right. So I'll go up. Sheriff, it's good to meet you. But I must tell you, there's something you must do. I also support Colonel Sanders, but there's what's going on in the alleyways is completely bonkers. There's people on red and blue that are taking away votes. What should we do? They're going to people and stealing their papers and giving them other ones. They're surely fakers. I bet if we confront them, we can get them to confess and then make crime in here much less and make sure this election is good and fair. Come, sir, let's get them out of the voters' hair.
Yes, that seems like it's quite a awful thing. I fear if I take too many of my men from their places, it might get unruly here next to the voting booths. I want to keep them where they are. I will come with you. I am deputizing you here and now. You and Artie too. Come, let us rid these violators of the law from our streets once and for all.
Excellent. Thank you, Sheriff, for being.
I cannot think of
the
how much
best of us.
safer I'll be, because even if they shoot the sheriff, they won't shoot the deputy.
He nods, and he will ride off with you in tow towards the alleyways.
Okay.
People make way, and
Is Artie coming too?
huh?
Oh yeah, absolutely.
Okay.
Yeah, the three of you follow the sheriff as he rides into the street. People make way for him as he kind of comes through. You see one set of Dawson thugs kind of beating up on a group of Elliot supporters. And as he rides up, they kind of look around and they begin sprinting down the alleyway.
Well, he's on a horse. That's not going to work.
Right. And so he turns and says, "Aha! Give chase!" And he gallops up after them.
Is it a sunny day?
We'll find out. It is a sunny day.
I cast Sunscorch on them.
Oh, all right. Well, tell me, what does Sunscorch do?
Range 40 yards. Are they within range?
40 yards? Yeah.
All right.
You're
They
going to
make a
blast them down?
one of them makes a save, the lead one, or that he
Okay.
takes D6 plus 2 points of damage.
He fails his save.
You just blew someone up?
7 damage.
Okay.
Oh!
It's hit by a scorching ray from the sun, and it just burns, and you can see the skin bubble and blister. But he falls to a knee and like kind of shakes himself and keeps running, obviously very injured looking. And that sounds awesome. What do you do, Niarb, as you see these people run from the sheriff and you down the alley?
I'm kind of, taken aback by the whole publicly just blowing somebody up here.
Well, he's a criminal. The sheriff is after him. He fled. That means he's wrong and he's guilty. There's no reason you would ever run from the law unless you were absolutely 100% guilty and deserve to be killed.
You're sure you're not voting for Dawson?
Oh, wait, 25% chance of spell failure. I always forget that.
Oh, yeah. 25% chance.
Oh, it failed!
So we see all of this like sun scorching happening in Artie's mind, but then in reality, all that happens is he holds his hands up and says some magic words, and this guy just keeps running for a while.
It makes a noise like a car trying to turn over.
I'll be right with you guys. I just need another drink, I think. Oh, here's a wineskin. No.
All right, so I'm gonna sprint along too. I'm gonna try to keep up with them. Does the sheriff on his horse catch them?
The sheriff on his horse does gallop up and catch them. And he swings down with a longsword and misses on his horseback, or the first rider that he catches up to, or the first thug that he catches up to. What do? You just run along?
Yeah, I want to catch up with them.
Okay.
Artie sits and drinks.
Artie sits and drinks.
He's not drunk enough to properly cast spells, apparently.
Okay. Sure. Rob, you take off at a sprint and you're catching up to them.
All right. So I'm just basically I want the sheriff to do the apprehension, and then I want to catch up when he's got them.
Okay. So you stay behind him. Okay. So on the next round,
I'm not going to outrun a horse.
Yeah. On the next round, they keep running, and the sheriff is hollering at them to stop and desist and get arrested. And he takes a swipe again at one of them, this time hitting the lead one with the club, and deals 6 points of damage. He gets a nice big slash across his back. Blood sprays, and you think, Artie, if you had just sunstriked this guy, he would have gone down. But you couldn't quite get drunk enough in time this morning. And he's still up, and they're running. You see, Niarb, that they're going to get to the end of this alleyway here, and it looks like they're going to make a try to climb up over this like wall here and away from the horse.
All right. Well, the range on hold person is 120 yards.
Okay.
So am I is Artie ahead of me, or will he see me?
Artie sat down and didn't run with you, and you were kind of like running to keep up with the sheriff down this alleyway, so Artie's going to be behind you.
Have we gone around any corners or anything? Does Artie have...
It's kind of like a straight shot alleyway. Their hope here, you can tell now that they're running up to it, is to like get to this ivy covered kind of like wall and get to the other street, like that this blocks off, and get into the other alleyway where the horse can't run them down.
Okay. Is it possible to cast spells from prone?
I don't see why not. You only have to have your hands free and be able to make verbal, somatic, and material components come together.
Okay.
So,
how far behind me is Artie?
Your movement speed, right? You're I think movement speed 8 as a kobold. 9.
Is it
6?
6. Oh, okay.
You're all the way down to 6.
I think so.
All right. Well, I did a full run.
Yeah.
Trying to keep up with the horse and everything. So however far I could have run it.
So you're 120 yards, right?
All right. So that seems like a pretty good distance, further than a football field where it'll be difficult to see what I'm doing. Mm-hmm. So I'm going to pretend to trip and go down.
Okay.
While I'm prone, hold person on the 2 fleeing people.
All right. Go ahead and roll, see how many you can affect here for me.
All right.
And we need to look at
2.
You get 2. Yeah. So two of these thugs just like freeze in place. One of them, including the leader that was struck, and one of the compatriots next to him. The other 2 continue their run and reach this wall, and they will attempt to climb over it. Okay. Both of them get to this wall and like try to scramble up it, but they're like running too fast. And they don't get good handholds. They just end up sliding back down on it. And 2 of them are just frozen in place. So Artie, you're still drinking. The sheriff ignores the 2 that are clearly frozen in place. And he rides up to give a shouting for desist, to cease and desist, but they don't do it. So he slaps in with a sword again, missing for whatever reason. The close quarters and being on a horse in this alleyway makes it really hard for him to like hit these people. And he doesn't get a chance to. What are you doing, Niarb?
I get back to my feet and keep running down to catch up.
Okay, sure. Yeah, you run down, you catch up. And you see these people attempt to climb out of here again.
All right. Well, I'm just gonna like be behind the, not behind where I can get kicked, but a safe distance behind the horse, going. Get him!
Nice. So you see these two people. They're shaken, but they're still panicked. They both manage to grab onto the wall this time and race up it. This provokes an attack of opportunity from the sheriff, who clatters against the wall, doesn't strike into them. They get up and over the wall. The sheriff kind of looks and says, "Quickly, bind these two that you've so quickly taken care of. We need to get around to the corner.
What do you mean
get them before they get away? Artie, where have you gone? Come with me." And he ports around in the alleyway and begins riding back down towards Artie.
Okay, I'll tie them up. I mean, it's not obvious that I cast the spell. It seems like it,
He's assuming that he didn't do it, so he's assuming you did. He did see you color spray into the air.
Maybe they just. Well, that's true. Yeah. I was gonna say maybe they just froze, like they were supposed to.
Maybe they did, but he's ridden off past you at this point.
All right. So I'll give him a tie.
Okay. The horse thunders past you, Artie, and he says, "Come, follow me. They've gone on the other side of the street. We have to catch them before they get away."
Can I hop on his horse? Like grab his hand and
yes, he will put his hand down and like grasp
Legolas
you and like sling you up onto the back of his horse with you.
Fantastic! I pull my tuba and play "Flight of the Valkyries" on it.
Excellent. I totally want a performance check just to know how good it is.
Nice!
This is the most dramatic sequence anyone in town has ever seen as you gallop down the street on the back of this horse, playing Flight of the Valkyries, murder in the sheriff's eyes. And you take off and race down the street. You take a turn back past the Crimson Cock and wheel into the next street over from Main Street. And you're coming down this alley. This part of town is relatively empty, seeing as the majority of the majority of the populace is getting ready for the election. They're in this main street and going towards the marketplace. And as you're running down this side, you turn a corner again to line up with the road that they dashed down. And as you turn the corner, you see 6 men, all dressed in red. You see the 2 that had been running off, like panting and wheezing behind them. But these 6 men all have crossbows drawn and pointed. And as you turn the corner, they're going to release fire on you.
I'm sitting behind the sheriff, right?
You are. Okay.
Do we roll initiative or do they have surprise?
Go ahead and roll initiative if you'd like.
I would like to roll initiative.
You are ready to for dangerous situations, so by all means.
Okay.
That means I need to look up our crossbow speed. Sorry.
No worries. What color are these men wearing?
Red. Decked head to toe in red.
Of course, it would be the Dawson men that are trying to shoot us and inciting violence.
Yeah. All right. So they are going on initiative 20. And the sheriff is going at 11 and you're going at 7. Artie, you act first.
All right, I immediately drop a bullet into my sling, spin it around, and unleash it at the first guy I see.
Absolutely.
+0 to hit. Natural 1.
Oh my goodness. Saving throw versus death for me.
Natural 20.
Okay, so you get your sling going and you just zing a stone down there. It clatters harmlessly against one of the alleyways. The sheriff rides forward and tries to slash down at them from his horse. Connecting and dealing a single point of damage to one of the crossbowmen.
Sheriff, you're not specialized? What are you doing with your life?
And wounded. The crossbows go off.
Oh, that's not good.
We are going to have 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, and 6. So,
did we ride past them?
No. Well, no. You're still behind the sheriff. He lined up to slash him down.
Okay, so the shots are coming towards him.
Yeah. You the ones that are aimed at you. You have cover for.
Fantastic.
So, you get 15, 11, 2 at the sheriff and the horse. One of those does hit, and that is going to be D4 plus 1 on him. The sheriff takes a bolt in his shoulder and is quite injured. The 17 and the 9 are at the horse itself. One of them hits. The horse takes 2 points of damage and rears. Please make a riding check.
I do not have that proficiency.
You are thrown from the horse.
Ooh.
Along with the sheriff. Both of you topple from the horse. The final crossbow was aimed at you, but a 9 will not hit you with your cover or without, I'm sure. So that is their round of action here. Let's go initiative again.
This might roll 20. Where the hell are you during all this, Niarb? Huh?
I'm with the 2 people that I tied up.
And you're just sitting on them?
Well, yeah, you guys went running to catch the other 2 totally unarmed people.
Yeah, I mean, if you want to take off after him, Niarb, you can try to.
All right, yeah, I guess after I'm like, what's taking so long? I'll go. Yeah, I do need these guys alive, so I'll leave them away from each other so they can't try to help each other untie.
Okay, sure. You move the 2 frozen people away from each other and leave them tied up.
And I'll go off to see what's going on with the rest of this pursuit.
Okay, give me a dexterity check, please.
Okay. Am I adding any skill to it or something, or what is it for?
I'm just seeing how quickly you move.
All right. Just verify my dex. I think I know what it is. Yeah. Okay.
Okay. So you will show up in 2 rounds. You will have caught up to the horses with 2 rounds. So the first people to act are the people in red, and they lay down their crossbows and pull out some clubs, and they walk up to try to surround the sheriff, and they say, "Support a different party, will ya? Trying to throw a wrench in this election," and they go to rain down blows on him. Oh. I need a D in there.
Yes, you do.
1, 2.
Oh my god! What is the sheriff wearing for armor?
So he gets hit twice. 19, 19, 19. 3 times.
But what is he? Does he have AC 15?
He has AC 15.
Oh, thank God.
Yes. Yes, he does. And they are going to rain down blows on him. There is 2 damage, 6 damage, and 3 damage. 9, and he took previously. The sheriff lies bloodied, bleeding, and unconscious on the ground as they beat him with these clubs. The next to act is Artie.
How many? There's 6 of these guys?
6 of them. And then there's the 2 people that have been running. They seem to be, like, panting and tired.
All right. Well, I rolled initiative for sling, so I'm going to sling.
All right.
D20 plus 0.
No. Your sling bounces harmlessly around in the alleyway.
I turn and run and flee and scream. Ah!
Excellent.
I don't know if I take any opportunity attacks.
No, they moved all in a circle around the sheriff to try to beat on him, so they're not engaged with you. They didn't pay much attention to the tuba playing gnome on the back of the sheriff's horse. So I guess initiative is important. This is the second round, Niarb. So you come around the corner and you see your friend Artie screaming and running, and these 6 men beating up the sheriff.
All right. Does Artie run past me?
Yes. Well, I start to run past you, and then I stop behind you and say, "Niarb, I will buff you. Take them. I'll make you buff. I'll make you really buff.
Make me buff and then run, and Niarb will get them with his stick."
Good job, Niarb.
All right. So,
got this.
they're going at turn 14, which I think is simultaneous with Artie here. Niarb, what are you doing?
All right. I'm waiting for Artie to buff me and then run.
Okay.
Once he's turned around, I'm gonna drop a color spray, but I don't want him to see me cast it.
Okay. You're gonna wait until Artie runs past you.
Yeah, he said he was gonna buff me and then he was gonna run.
Mm-hmm.
Okay. So, Artie, you and the Dawson bandits start going at the same time. They pick up their clubs, and they realize that the sheriff is no longer moving, and the horse is running off, panicked, and they turn to look at them and say, "These ones are going to warn the others. Get them. Don't let them talk." And they begin kind of rushing up after you.
All right, Niarb, I buff you. I give you +2 to strength or 16 strength, whichever is greater.
16 is much greater.
Okay.
Okay. And they begin running after you, but you had run after your movement, and you keep that distance between them.
Right. So I back up, give him like 20 feet between me and Niarb, but I don't actually flee.
Run.
No, I'll back you up.
Stop them.
I'll back you up with my sling.
No, you should run. You're much more important than I am.
Don't say that, Niarb. I love you.
These 6 men have closed with you, Niarb, with clubs in hands. They're getting ready to hit you, but they've taken their running movement this turn.
God damn it! All right. Color spray 'em.
All right. Let's see that D6. All right. 2 of them fall unconscious on the ground in front of you.
Okay, how many were on me? Now, remember, the whole thing is that I'm supposed to, my one thing for being a kobold is I'm attacked last. That everybody looks more threatening than me. That everybody's like, oh, it's just a lousy kobold. So given who's there, they should be going after Artie, not me.
Okay. Initiative for the next round.
All right. What is the initiative on that spell? Let's see. Casting time of 1. All right. That's my kind of spell. Okay. D10 plus 1.
8. All right, Artie, you act first.
All right, I sling at the first one of these guys.
All right. Your swing is ineffective. Niarb, it is your turn.
All right, so I took down 2 of them. What's the layout? Where are these guys all?
So they were 6 guys that kind of turned a corner and ran after Artie as he went past you and gave you the magic muscle touch. And you knocked 2 of them out. So you've got basically 4 people in kind of a line in front of you with clubs in hand.
There's how many in front of me here?
4. There were 6. You knocked out 2. Now there's 4.
All right, I guess I'll hit the other color spray. God
Okay.
damn it.
All 4 of them collapse on the ground in front of you, and a spray of blue and red and yellow colors.
Alrighty. Quickly grab up all their weapons.
They're all out, right?
Or
You're all knocked out.
Actually, I'll say, Artie, you should take their weapons, and I'll go to cast a CLW on the sheriff.
Niarb!
Okay.
What was that you did?
Just like the shaman does.
That's not a polar bear ward. This was not something This is not something that I've been told.
The sheriff gets 8 back.
The sheriff gasps awake, blood running from his various bruises and blood and cuts on his face and shoulders, and he goes, "I'm alive. They had a trap wait for us. Those lousy bastards."
Okay, in my Diet Coke brother voice, Sheriff, it was amazing. You just kind of got this look on your face like a blur, like a red blur, and then you were just laying about and boom, you put them all down. We need to grab their weapons before they come to.
Yes. We should disarm them. Put them all in jail.
All right,
where's my horse?
Grab all their weapons.
Looks around. Yeah. You guys take up all their weapons. And the sheriff pulls out manacles out of his bag and manacles each of them before they wake up. As they awake, they are restrained. And he says, "I'm marching all of y'all to jail this instant."
Okay, so when one of them wakes up, there was a definite leader?
Yes, there was. He had a big blade slash in his back and a mild sunburn.
All right, so I go up to him, get in his face. You are behind all this. Confess, command.
Ooh, excellent. He does just that. He says, yeah, I was. We got to make sure Dawson wins. We got this surprise new candidate, and Elliot, he paid us. 25 gold's a good sum of money for people like us. I'd do it again. Then he looks around like, shit, did I just say that? We got a witch. The third party, the colonel, he's with the witches.
What? No, I think just for the first time in your life, you did the right thing.
I wouldn't have said that on my own.
Well, you said it, and the sheriff heard it.
The sheriff's like, that I did. That seems like corruption to me.
I guess you're not as clever as you thought.
The sheriff looks at you two and says, "You two have been rightfully deputized. Please see these men off to the jail cell. I have to have a few words with a particular candidate of mine."
That's right. We've been deputized.
Excellent.
And the sheriff looks off, presumably in the of the market area.
All right. We have authority.
You have been deputized for the moment by the sheriff of Berkshire.
People have to respect our authority.
They will have to respect your authority.
All right. We round these blokes up and haul them off to jail. Do we have keys to the jail?
No.
I guess I just take all the dangerous things out of the sheriff's office and just kind of shove them in the room and...
Let's tie them one to the other so they're in a line. So they can't just start off in 6 different directions.
Mm-hmm. You tie them in a line, they're manacled, and you lead them towards the sheriff.
Them too, so they can't run fast.
Okay. And you begin leading them out to the sheriff's office where the jail cells are located. In order to do that, you lead them right behind the voting marketplace. So everyone in the lines get a good look at the 2 Diet Coke brothers leading a manacled, tied-up gang of Dawson supporters to the sheriff's house and leave them in there. You get a few whoops and hollers from the crowd. Some people seem to really be into this. You also hear some curses thrown your way and talking about unlawful, vote tampering. They're targeting Dawson supporters. Everyone's out to get him. And you lead them into the sheriff's office. The front door of the sheriff's office is unlocked as always. There's no deputies in here though. The front of the shop is as you saw it the first time you were in here, Artie.
Yeah. So wait, did he give us a jail cell key?
No.
I guess I'll just stand here and spin my sling while watching them until the sheriff shows up to actually jail them proper.
All right. Well, we took their weapons. They had crossbows, right?
Yes. They had dropped their crossbows on the ground and had pulled out some clubs. But you took their clubs. If you wanted to, you could have picked up all their crossbows from
I'd rather actually have a crossbow notched and in my hands rather than spinning a sling. It just feels a little easier.
A little less of forearm strength required.
Yeah.
So I've got the crossbow pointed at him. Go.
Okay.
Now, I know what you're wondering. Did I fire 1 crossbow bolt? In all the confusion, I kind of lost count myself.
They nod at you, but they've got their mouths kind of clamped shut. They don't want to dare open them in case something makes their voice jump out and say things they weren't ready to. They seem very thoroughly spooked. So you guys
you're gonna all stay quiet right now, but I think you need a little time to think. And here's what you should think about. Your leader already sold you out. So what you should be doing is thinking about how you can get the best deal, since that's what he's trying to do. What can you tell the sheriff that will make it so that you're the one who gets the deal and the immunity? You should all be thinking about how to rat out the others in the best way possible. Something for you to silently consider until the sheriff gets here.
Okay. One of the 6 doesn't silently consider. He kind of looks at you and he says, "Well, that sounds like a great idea. I don't want to go to jail. I'll rat them all out. I'll rat everybody out. What do I need to say? Tell me what do I need to say? I'll say it."
Not yet. Not until the sheriff gets here.
Oh, all right. You guys wait in here for a little bit, and you are disturbed by an incredibly loud roar from the marketplace. Tons of voices yelling and hollering. If you poke your head out the sheriff's door and look, it seems that the sheriff is walking past the marketplace with the manacled Dawson in tow and is bringing him to the sheriff's place. And everyone lining up is yelling either in appreciation or excitement, and many in just like black anger that Dawson is being walked in here in shackles. The town's guard is having to like keep the line in order and are very busy making sure this doesn't descend into chaos. The sheriff walks in, cowboy hat and badge on, looking rather beat up, and he brings a manacled Dawson into the room with you all. And he says, well, I think we got these suckers all lined up here. I'm sorry, did I not give you a jail cell key? And he kind of figures around on
yeah,
his
when I see that Dawson is being brought in here, I'm going to kind of disappear off to where he won't be able to see me.
Okay.
See me.
So instead of flipping the key at Niarb, he flips the key at Artie instead.
Okay. I take it, open the door, and, shove the people in.
All right. Yeah, you shove them in one of the unoccupied jail cells of the Saber Rattlers. He sits down with on his desk and just kind of motions for Dawson to sit on one of the chairs. He laces his fingers behind his head and puts his boots up on the desk as he leans in his chair, and he says, well, now it seems you've engaged in a conspiracy to commit voter fraud and take away votes from those that would oppose you, and you have also been in a conspiracy to attempt murder on my own life and these two deputies for the day. What do you have to say?
I'm staying where Dawson can't see me.
Sure, he doesn't see you, but he mentions his two deputies. And Dawson just kind of stares back at him sullenly and says, it's just politics. Every crook's in on it. You too, you're in it now too. I bet you're messing with the votes right now. Got nobody voting for me. And he just stands there silently.
This is Dawson, right?
Yep.
I'm out of spells. Well now, Mr. Dawson, don't you think you're so awesome? I would like to ask you a square question. I'd like a square answer and response. Did you not tell these men to bend the votes, to faultilize the papers, to disrupt the legitimacy of this operation?
He doesn't gesture with his sausage fingers, but he says, "Of course not. I would never do such a thing. These people are on my employ, and they've done heinous things. I would see them jailed, but I simply gave them gold and had them campaign for me. I told them to help campaign. If they took that too far, then that is their choice and not mine."
I say to you, you picked these men knowing how far they would take it. You thought you could keep your nose out of it, but you knew what sort of men these were when you employed them, and that is willful ignorance bordering on criminal negligence.
I don't know what you're talking about. My supporters come from all over the place. I couldn't name what they've done before this.
That's right. There's too many evil things they've done. No one could name them all.
He just stands there sullenly. He says, "Look, obviously I have not done anything wrong here. What if I just paid you a hefty fine to the city here? I say I give you 200 gold and we forget all about this, Mr. Sheriff."
Sheriff, we must jail him. He just attempted to bribe the law.
The sheriff kind of leans back and says, "Oh, don't worry. I've taken one too many hits to the face today to be accepting any money from this slime." And he says, "I think I've heard all I need to. When the new mayor is elected, we'll have him deal with you." And he goes to lock him away in a jail cell.
Nice. Oh my God, this is every dream come true. I hate Dawson.
And unfortunately, it can only happen in a fantasy world.
Yeah.
Yep. And that with that taken care of, the sheriff says, "Well, I better clean up a little bit and then go see to my men, make sure they're keeping it nice and orderly outside."
Okay, I'll mention to the sheriff. You know, some of them I think were wanting to rat out the others. You should probably keep them in separate cells so they can't get their stories straight, and maybe see with them, like take them into rooms individually and let them each, without knowing what the other one is told, do their own little rat out, and heavily implying each time that the others have already told quite a bit.
He says, "You are a clever deputy. I think that you should do just that for me." And he hands you the jail cell key and a key to like a little interrogation, a little like.
Well, but I don't have the. I mean, if they confess to you, if you hear this, you as an official officer of the law, not just a deputized person.
I heard what I needed to hear in the alleyway, I believe. I heard it loud and clear, like a twang of a bowstring.
All righty. Well, we should put them in separate cells so they can't get their stories straight, and then you can, when you're done with all your stuff, you can interrogate them later and do all that.
Excellent. And he kind of goes to clean up. He goes to a basin, starts washing the blood off his face. He picks out some a new jacket that isn't going to be stained, and then he walks out back into the market square.
Okay, and as we put them in their cells, let's sort of mention each time it's like, the real big fish to fry is Dawson. I bet if there was enough mud sticking to him, then that would be the real case, and they probably wouldn't be too worried about you as an individual. They'll do that each time as we put them in the cells.
For most of them, they give you the silent tongue, but you get to that one guy that was like freaking out. He's like, yeah, mud. I have lots of mud. My mom's a pig farmer. I could get all the mud in the world. I bet it sticks.
All right, well, you just keep thinking about what you want to tell, and the sheriff will be here eventually.
Oh, excellent. I'll tell him all about my mom's pig farm. I'm sure he'll like all that mud. It'll stick to him nice. Yeah.
All right. We're just about out of time here, so do we get the election results?
Yeah, basically, you don't have anything left to do other than get the elections. I didn't expect you to form a third party this way so much. So what I would like you to do is both of you have made pretty nice contributions to this third party's chances here. So I want you each to make a charisma check with a bonus of 5 each, and let's see how well you do.
Come on. You can do this. Plus 14 plus 5. 36.
36.
Come on.
Plus 5.
Yes.
All right, you guys walk out, and the next day, after all of this comes, Desmond is out in the town square. Everyone is settled, and he says, "It is my absolute pleasure to announce to all of you today that the voting results are in, and despite a tumultuous time, I am very happy to announce our newest mayor, Colonel Sanders."
Woo!
And the crowd claps and cheers, and the colonel comes out in his all white, his colonel hat, his mustache finely waxed, and a big bucket of chicken. And he says, "I want to thank all of you for believing in me, and believing in chicken, and believing in 11 spices. We will make Berkshire chicken heaven." And I think everyone goes nuts, and that is the end of the election.
As long as the cows are gone, that's fine.
Well, that's it for today's Shenanigans, guys. This was surprisingly awesome and fun. Shenanigans is usually great, but this was especially good. I had a fantastic time. I got nothing else to say. Let's do some closing out remarks, starting with Rob.
I don't know what to say. I thought that was awesome. Made some money. Played Kingmaker.
Ooh, that's right.
Had a brief moment where I thought about getting Dawson to win and then controlling it behind the scenes.
No, man, you can't do that with a man like Dawson. He's a loose cannon.
Charm person going.
A loose cannon. It wouldn't work.
He had charm person, and he wasn't going to save again for another 3 months.
Oh, God.
But I did the right thing in getting a candidate that nobody knew anything about, that may be a crazy person for all we know.
Oh, Colonel Sanders is most definitely crazy, I am sure.
So we'll see. Interesting changes for Desu coming up, I'm sure.
All right. Greg.
I want to say thank you to you two for being awesome players and rolling with this wacky and kind of strange campaign I had planned out. I was a little nervous it might not go as smoothly and as awesomely as it did, and you guys were great.
Well, you did an awesome job with it. Thanks.
Thank you. Thank you. I appreciate that. Yeah, if you like this, keep checking out more Shenanigans. I'll try to be around when I can. If you want to see more of me, I'm over at twitch.tv/Greg Hansen. I play video games and I have a blast. Come hang out.
Cool. That's it for Shenanigans today. If you guys stick around in half an hour, we're having our penultimate Age of Strife audition. And I think half an hour after that, we're having our ultimate. At 2:30, we're having Stone, and at 4:30, we're having Connor. So next up on the chopping block are the last two Age of Strife auditions, and then that's it for today's stream. I'll see the rest of you guys on Tuesday. Bye-bye, everybody. Take care.